Hi friends, having familiarized ourselves in part 3 with different EO techniques such as immiscible gas injection and also chemical methods including polymer flood. Now let us look at a different array and a widely used array of thermal methods which work by expanding the oil to reduce their viscosity and surface tension. So this also increases the permeability and vaporization of the oil and its reach, and most of the time we use steam methods. Also there is dry forward front and backward front flame method which is used, but invariably most of the times they employ steam method, whereby steam is generated by heating natural gas which rotates a turbine and produces electricity. This is typically how it is done in an integrated gas combined cycle. And the other method that is used to produce steam is solar heating water method, whereby the water is heated using solar rays up to a temperature of around 95-96 degrees, and the residual heating to produce saturated steam is done by natural gas. Remember that saturated steam is preferred in this steam methods because the saturation steam has a good reach, whereby it reaches the roof and attics of the reservoir and also helps in condensing. So this saturated steam heat touches the roof as well as condenses, thereby giving a maximum reach in the reservoir. Thermal methods can predominantly be classified under steam flooding and fire flooding. In steam flooding, it works by reducing the viscosity of the heavy, waxy, and bituminous crude. In this steam flooding, we have high pressure cyclic steam stimulation, which is also called as huff, soak, and puff method. This was accidentally discovered by Shell in Venezuela, whereby the same well is used for injection and production. Basically, in the initial phase, you inject steam into the reservoir for a couple of weeks, then let it soak in the reservoir for almost few months, and then produce this melted or very fluidic crude, which is basically easy to pump out. The other steam flood method employed is steam assisted gravity drain, which is done for oil sands in Alberta, Canada. In this case, parallel pipes are inserted into the reservoir, the upper one having spargers to pump out steam. This steam tends to reduce the viscosity of the bituminous crude and ensures that it flows down due to gravity, whereby it is collected in the collector pipe and pumped to the surface. Now, in some cases, there are solvents added to better the miscibility of the produced gas so as to ensure a better recovery, because this tends to reduce again the surface tension of the bituminous crude. The other thermal method employed is fire flooding or combustion method. In this case, it is used for high oil saturation and porous reservoirs, whereby air and gas are fed continuously to establish a flame front. This flame front pushes the oil bank towards the producer well. In this, there are two methods: forward flame front and reverse flame front. In reverse flame front, air injection and ignition occur in the opposite direction. However, this method being inefficient, it is usually avoided. Now, fire flooding again can be of two types, which is dry forward, whereby the oil is ignited and the fire front pushes the oil bank towards the production well. Then there is wet forward, whereby water is injected behind the flame front, and this generates steam because of the hot quenching rocks which tend to produce steam, and this steam again distributes evenly, thereby melting more of bituminous crude oil and ensuring higher recovery. Having explored the thermal methods, we will definitely study them in detail in our subsequent slides. Now let us have a look at relatively newer technologies like the microbial injection and plasma pulse technology. Microbial injection is a very special technology whereby we have a bacterial culture which, along with nutrients, molasses, and nitrogen and potassium fertilizers, are injected into the reservoir. Now these microbes, they generate metabolites which act as a solvent, surfactants, and biopolymers. So this works like an ASP flooding process, which is natural out of generations by the microbes. These injected microbes function by digesting the long chain hydrocarbon molecules like wax and breaking them into smaller molecules, and in the process produce carbon dioxide as a byproduct. Now this carbon dioxide ensures miscibility and functions like a miscible gas injection. Now, as we would see that these microbial injection functions in a threefold method, like an ASP flood and a physical breakdown of molecules, and also like an miscible gas injection. So hence this is widely employed across the industries in several countries. This gives an additional advantage that it produces lesser waste, and also there is lesser concerns of produced water management. Hence it is employed by Statoil, US, USSR, and in Canada. A very new technology and a very interesting one, which is plasma pulse technology, which has of late been used for oil and gas operations. However, it has been prevalent through the Cold War ages. We must have seen several James Bond movies where they would jam the enemy planes and their radars using a plasma pulse and making them ineffective. Now, this destructive technology has been used for constructive methods in oil and gas recovery. In this plasma pulse technology, low energy emissions cause shock waves at very high temperature and pressure, thereby inducing oscillations in a relatively stationary oil bank. These oscillations cause changes in the viscosity and break down the hydrocarbon bonds and thereby inducing fluidicity. This fluidicity induced crude can now be pumped to the surface using pumps. Now, plasma pulse technology can be used in wide reservoirs and neighboring wells up to 1500 meters and beyond because the shock waves that are generated can create oscillations in the cross reservoirs. Now, since this plasma pulse technology does not produce any side byproduct or any waste product, and there are no issues with respect to produced water management, it has been widely used in companies such as Gazprom, Rosneft, Lukoil, ConocoPhillips, and ONGC. So friends, this was an overview of the different EOR process. However, to study in detail with regards to each EOR technology, please stay tuned and subscribe to this channel so as to get a deeper insight into the different EOR technologies that will be followed in the subsequent slides.